Welcome back to Buallz and Bourbon with myself, Darth Buallz, aka Glizzy Goblin, aka the Glizzard King, aka Joe. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. I wasn't real sure what to do tonight. I was going to maybe do a couple different things, and then I decided I wanted to get back to one of my newest bottles that I haven't really evaluated this year because I had two small pours of it. One I cracked on New Year's Eve. I may have drank a little too much on New Year's Eve, so I can't recall how good or bad it was. In general, I have loved this bottle, and this one is Michters 10-Year Rye. Michters 10-Year Rye, this is the 2023. For those of you that are nerds and pay attention to all this shit, which sometimes I do, barrel number 23H2956. So Michters 2023 10-Year Rye. If you've never had any Michters products, I am a huge fan. I think they do an exceptional job of really any of their offerings, but especially their limited offerings and even at lower proofs. So the Michters 10-Year Bourbon and Rye, this one is 90 something, I think. Should probably look this stuff up ahead of time. 92.8 proof, but it's always like sub 94 proof, which turns some people off. But trust me, if you have these, you're going to go, oh, wow, that is so much better than I would have expected for that low of proof. And I think that's just kind of a, that's their shtick. Because Shanks is great at like 90.2 or 91.4 or something. The Michters 10 Bourbon is obviously fantastic. The Bombergers is really good too. Those are all from the Michters distillery. I don't know enough nerddom to know what is what, but I think this stuff is sourced, or it's rumored to be sourced, but it is obviously at least 10 years old. So once again, Michters 10-Year Rye 2023. Let's go ahead and drink some of this shit. Plus the bottle's fucking cool. Nice wax top. It's got a cool design. And it goes glug, glug, glug into my dirty glass. All right. So, you can kind of see it there. You can kind of see my dirty ass glass too, because I chose a not super clean one. My wife's not very good at cleaning these glasses. Sorry, honey. Yeah, so it's got a nice color. Not super dark. I mean, it looks a little darker on the camera than it does to my eye. But it's got a nice color, and that is to be expected usually when it's a 10 plus year product. Yeah, looks good. It's got a good look. Got some nice little leggies when you give it the old SJ. Let's stick our schnoz in. Oh man, that's good. So that's the other thing about Michters. Not only do they do exceptional at lower proof, or less than 110 or 115 proof, because I forgot to mention their barrel strength rye, or their toasted barrel strength rye. Those ones are all really good too. I've got at least one somewhere back there, toasted barrel strength rye. But anyway, Michter's regular old 10-Year Rye 2023. But where I was going with that statement, the nose is fucking excellent. The nose is always so good on Michter's products. It's overall probably my favorite nose across the board of distilleries. It's like you can smell the age, you get definite oak. Oak's in there, but it's got the nice rye, the kind of, I don't know how to describe things well, but I call it a rye funk is what I call it. My cat wants to join in on the video. But yeah, it's so sweet smelling though. So even though I know a lot of people don't like rye because they think it's too spicy or it's got too much bite, etc., I completely disagree. I love rye, and I love high rye mash bills. I tend to, if I can actually see the real mash bill for things, anything that has a higher rye content, I tend to like. That's not to say I only like those, but I usually have a better idea that I'm going to like it. Nose is great though. It's like kind of buttery. Like I said, sweet, rye funk. You can definitely smell the oak, but it's so sweet. It's just so perfect. Like the nose on any of the Michters 10 products, I just got to say, they're way up there. You know, they'll compete with some of the best noses that you'll have, in my opinion. There's like a little bit of something else in there that I can't put a finger on the notes. I'm not good at notes. If you've watched any of my other videos, I'm a schlep when it comes to notes. I just know if I like it, if I don't like it, if it's good, if it's bad. It's something else, and it's just right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, let's have a drink. See that? Mm. I know when you're watching the video and you see my first reaction, you're going to go, oh, he obviously likes that. Because I don't make it, I don't hide it, you know. It's hard not to. But yeah, that first sip, and this is my first sip of anything. I was thinking about a warm up pour of some sort, but this is a low proof, so there's really no reason to, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, man, just from start to finish, it's just so good. You take the sip, get it on there, kind of wash it around the tongue, um, and it hits all those good spots. Now, is the finish overly lingering or long? No, it's 92 proof, 92.8. But is it excellent? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's something in the Michter's nose that I don't know the description of it, but it exists in most all Michter's products, and I love that nose, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. So if you've not tried any of the normal, just regular offerings of Michter's, you could certainly start there. They're all solid, especially for being like 40, $50. Um, but the limited offerings or the allocated or annual release, limited release stuff, they're really really good. So if you find them for a reasonable price, or if you can trade for them, I would absolutely endorse it. And that's even without getting to anything further on the review itself. Yeah, man, it's it's like candy. I just don't know how else to describe it. It's got a great mouthfeel. You certainly get a little bit of oak, but it's not overbearing because I know some people are turned off by oak. I think despite rye being spicy, this just it doesn't have a whole lot of that. A lot of the stuff that turns people off on ryes, I don't think this has. This is it's just so welcoming, you know, from nose to on the palate, the finish. Um, like I said, it's not super long. It's not like a great finish, but everything up until that point is great. So kind of like me, you know, take you out to dinner, buy you a nice dinner, great foreplay, get to the end, and whoops, I can go again if you want. All right, let's go ahead and finish this bad boy off. Oh, that nose, bro. That nose is so good. It's good, man. It's super solid. Um, like I said, the finish is subtle, but it's good. It's just not long lasting to me. Um, But yeah, the flavor itself is great. I think I preferred my. I had a 22. No idea what the barrel number was. I think I prefer the 22 slightly, but not by much. But also, as with my. What was the other one? There's another one that I said I preferred. Oh, the Four Roses. I said I preferred 22 to the 23. I've caught a lot of shit because of that. I still stand by that I like my 22 better because it was a higher OB recipe, which is higher rye, than the OE. But people are like losing their mind because they're like, oh, the 23 is so fucking good, which it is so good. It's just that the 22 is better to me personally, going off my memory. But the point being is that the old rose tinted glasses, that maybe because it was my first bottle, I held it a higher regard. But it's not like I drank it on one night. I drank it over the span of 8 months or something like that. So I think it's safe to say that I just like the 22 Four Roses better. Like I said, I think I like the 22 Michters 10 Rye slightly better, but not significantly more. And this is still fucking excellent. So let's go ahead and get to the end here. Michters 10 Rye. For reference, I think cost on this is between 150 and 200 bucks. I was not able to get one this year. I did trade for this with a dude on one of my bourbon discords. So thank you, Kevin, I believe. But not that Kevin, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I traded 2 Blantons and an Eagle Rare, I think. So, you know, things that you can get monthly. And, you know, retail cost on those, depending on how much you pay for a lens, you know, 70 to 100 bucks. So you're talking 140 to 200 bucks plus an Eagle Rare, which is 40 bucks, 50 bucks. So in my head, that made sense to me to trade 3 bottles of things that I like but aren't fantastic to get something that I really like and that is much harder to get. So Michters 10 Rye, Michters 10 Rye 2023. Might as well take another smell. I would say this bad boy, nose-wise, gets like a 9.1. The nose is so fucking good. The overall score, I would say it's 8.4. Without thinking too hard about it, I would say even 8.5. It's really solid, man. And I think part of that, too, is that, like I said, it's a 92.8 proof whiskey, which, especially in the bourbon world, people scoff at. Anything under like bottled and bond or under 110, people are like, oh, that shit sucks. But they still want to collect these bad boys because they're nice and fancy and 10-year. But these are great. Like I said, if you can get it, absolutely get it. Final answer, 8.4 on the overall score. The nose is a 9.1, 9.2. The nose is so good. This would be a little better if the finish just lasted a little bit longer. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a super long, drawn-out finish on something that's 92.8 proof. But is this an excellent whiskey? Absolutely. Is it worth 200 bucks? Absolutely. Is it worth 250 bucks? I don't know. You know, maybe close. But is it worth trading $250 worth of things you can readily get? Absolutely. So anyway, thanks for watching. Michters 10-Year Rye 2023. Great whiskey. If you can get it, get it. If you have different years or different barrels and you think differently, certainly let me know. Otherwise, remember to like, subscribe, come back and watch my next video, watch my old videos. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you bearing with me trying to grow this motherfucker out. And otherwise, thanks and have a great day, night, evening, morning, whatever it is. Thanks for watching.